every now and then, we see this in our work a lot of times, you'll see what we call gamma brainwaves. Now, I call gamma brainwaves super consciousness. And when that kundalini energy that's sitting in those lower centers that you use for sexual expression, to digest your food, all the energy you need to drive aggressively or tell your coworker off or being chased by a predator, all the energy that's sitting in these lower centers, instead of being eliminated out, begins to move up. When that energy begins to move up, that sympathetic nervous system switches on right with the parasympathetic nervous system, and the body is relaxed, and just like an orgasm, that energy begins to release up into the brain. And there's a little gate at the brain stem called the thalamic gate. And the moment that gate opens up, that energy begins to move right into the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is sensitive to pressure. And all of a sudden, that pineal gland gets a rush of energy, and it compresses, and it begins to release electromagnetic energy. And the pineal gland begins to take melatonin and turn it into some very profound neurotransmitters. And we have measured amplitudes of energy in our work 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 26,000 times, 40,000 times normal in the brain. And that's because when that neurotransmitter is released, and that electrical current begins to activate the nervous system, all of a sudden you're tuning in to possibility, and now the brain and nervous system is processing a greater stream of consciousness, and those microtubules in the cells turn on. If you take that same molecule and you tweak it again, you'll find the most powerful hallucinogenic known to man. Now, why is that important? Because the moment that occurs in gamma, what you're experiencing in your inner world is more real than anything you've ever experienced in your outer world, and you'll never forget that moment. And the brain literally tracks it neurologically and produces a new chemical, and the moment that occurs, the body moves out of the past. And we have seen people heal themselves instantaneously when this energy is released. So then, gamma then is super consciousness. It's when the sympathetic nervous system begins to release energy back to the brain, and all the energy you've used to create a baby, to digest food, to run from a predator, is now moving up to the brain from whence it came. And when that occurs, the brain goes into a heightened state, and that's called gamma. When you begin to connect to Source, when you truly allow that consciousness, your subjective free-willed consciousness, to merge with that objective consciousness, which is a loving intelligence and intelligent love, and you begin to merge with it, different compartments of your brain that were once divided begin to work together and synchronize. And when that occurs, you start to feel whole, you start to feel more love for your life, you feel more spontaneous, more poised, you feel clear, you trust in the universe because your brain is now functioning in a holistic state.